What's going on, everybody? Back here with a special client interview. Got my man Kyle Watson. He's been in the program for a little over 3 months now. And to put it lightly, he's made some pretty crazy progress. But I don't want to steal all the thunder. Kyle, kind of introduce yourself, talk about where you're at. And Brian, obviously throw your intro there as well.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I started the program a little over 3 months ago, like you said. And at the start of the program, I was like in my bullpens, like topping 71, 72. And just last night in my game, I was up to 78. So obviously like huge with that. And it's been great. Like I've loved the program so far, and obviously got like way more than was expecting with this so far. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. So, like, obviously, from topping 71, 72 in bullpens 3 months ago to just hitting 78 last night, that's a pretty big difference. And a lot of people don't maybe know how it feels to make a jump like that. So, like, just how has that felt overall for you?
I think the biggest thing is like, I mean, at the start of the program, like I didn't really know what that felt like either. I mean, like I kind of was stuck at around that range for the past like 2 years. And once I started the program, like it kind of gave me like a consistent like work ethic to follow. And it just kind of like tacks on slowly. Like you kind of hit like 73, 74, 75, and then that just kind of adds up over time, and then you end up at 78. So it's like a slow process, but once you stick to it, then it adds up.
100%, man. And 78 is far from where we're going to get you to. But just like what's the biggest difference you noticed since starting? Just like physically, mentally, how you carry yourself? Kind of walk me through that.
I think the first thing is obviously just like getting bigger, stronger. Got like everyone saying like hey, you're looking bigger. Obviously love to hear that. And then just like on the mound, moving just so much more explosively. Getting much more like fast twitch, and that's like a huge like noticeable difference with that. Um, and yeah, just like looking more athletic, looking stronger, and like in terms of like mentally, just being so much more mentally like stable, and like when you face adversity on the mound, which is like obviously gonna happen, like being able to bounce back and still staying in that attack mode like all the time.
Yeah, dude. 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. Like that's awesome to hear. To be honest with you. So, like you mentioned all these changes, right? Like feeling more explosive on the mound, being bigger, faster, stronger, more confident. Obviously, hearing stuff from the friends is awesome. But like, what within the program do you think has helped you the most?
I think the like one of the biggest things has just been like the schedule of like everything, the eating schedule, the lifting schedule, the throwing schedule, the like sprints, the med ball throws. It's all there for me, and it's tailored to what I need to work on the most. And it kind of like it I can get the most improvement when I'm working on the things that are like my biggest weaknesses, and then that's gonna lead to the most growth. Which like if I didn't do the program, then I would have been trying to like guessing like, oh, like I think this needs better, like I think that needs to be better, and not like doing all the right things, and then that's led to like so much more growth versus just trying to like figure it out on my own.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And is that what you were kind of doing before you jumped in?
Yeah, I was just kind of like watching some video, like kind of trying to pick out things, not really knowing what's
Sure.
good, what's bad, just kind of something like comparing myself to like the pros or like my teammates, whatever, and seeing like he does that well, he throws hard, like I don't, so trying this, but like I wouldn't know how to fix it. Like I could see what's wrong, but I didn't know what to do to fix that or like the best way to go about it. So that's what's been big about this program.
Yeah, 100%, dude. A lot of kids are doing that, what you said, comparing themselves to big leaguers and whatnot, instead of just focusing on the things that they need to work on. So I think it's super valuable that you kind of said that. But like but obviously this is your first time joining a remote pitching program. So like before you jumped in, what were kind of your initial expectations of how this was all going to work? And then how did that, how did what you're doing now kind of compare with those initial expectations?
Yeah, honestly, I was a little like not knowing what to expect with an online program, kind of like all the stuff I've done in the past has been kind of in person, almost all just kind of like uh looking at the mechanics and kind of like the mental cues and stuff. And honestly, I think what like I thought was going to be a big like weakness of the program is probably like one of the biggest strengths of doing it online. Because like kind of something I learned quick is you can't gain velo with a half hour like appointment pretty much like 2 times a week or 1 time a week. It's got to be a full almost like lifestyle. And you can't get that with just a pitching coach that you're seeing. It's got to be like a whole bunch of things, and like you have to do all of that. So like I wasn't really expecting it to be like that, not like that much, but like that way of approaching it. And it's worked out, and I'm like actually so much happier with that.
Yeah, man. Happy to hear that. Absolutely. So, obviously you're throwing harder now, Kyle, and 78's a pretty big difference from 71. But just like, velocity is not everything at the end of the day. And yes, you jumped in this program to throw harder and you are throwing harder. So, how has that kind of changed your confidence on the mound, just knowing now you have a fastball that you can miss barrels with?
Yeah, I think that's been huge of just knowing like I can throw my best stuff and like try to hit it. And like most of the time guys won't. And that confidence helps me to hit my spots better, to have better off speed. And like it's like the same pitches if you have confidence or not, but with that confidence, it helps like everything else. And if I like have a walk or like if like someone gets a hit off me, then it's so much easier just to bounce back and like have that mentality of like I'm getting this guy out now, and that just helped me so much with that.
Yeah, man, 1000%. And like, kind of to piggyback off of what you just said and what that root question kind of hinted at, like, yeah, velocity is great and you're throwing harder. And a lot of people might think that a pitching program designed for you to throw harder neglects the other areas of pitching. So, how would you say, jumping into the program has made you better in the other areas besides velocity?
I think that was something that like every other kid or like not every other kid but a bunch of kids were like skeptical of. I think that's gotten so much better with the command, with the off speed, with everything like that. Just because like I'm getting out of my head on the mound. I'm just able to attack guys and like being more of an athlete on the mound. If I can make like if I'm working on 120-foot throws on the run, if I can hit someone in the chest with that, then it's so much easier to throw a strike from 60 feet away. So it's just like if you like consistently work on the harder things, then I get out there in the game and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so easy. Just like hit a spot with a fastball. And it just makes it so much easier with the command. And then that improves the off speed because now I'm like constantly 0-1, 0-2, and it just helps everything else. So
Yeah, 100%, brother. And then Brian, I don't want to leave you out of the spotlight here by any means. So like, obviously we jumped on our initial call before Kyle jumped into the program. What kind of gave you the impression that this would work out for Kyle, and what made you feel comfortable with letting him join?
So we did an online hitting thing before, and we've had some good results. And like one of the things that we liked about it was the idea of we love video. Like we like the always the age old comment of like video doesn't lie. So like it's kind of being able to upload videos and kind of send it to you and kind of like critique like, hey, this is what you're doing well, this is what you need to work on. Really, I think helps a lot. And like, early on, you were able to kind of make some adjustments. And we're still kind of we're early in the program, so there's things that we need to continue on. But like some adjustments that have been made have helped to increase the velocity and help increase the being more consistent in the zone. So um, that was one thing I liked. I liked the idea of um, the um, the Slack channel, being able to, like, you and Kyle are in communication like regularly on that, kind of, being able to ask questions, being able to engage, kind of going back to the point that Kyle brought up earlier, like compared to like the half hour, 30-minute session, if you go to someone in person, like being able to hit up with questions or answers, and I thought that was kind of cool. So those were a couple things that I really liked about the online program, and I thought was a good jumping off point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just having that consistent feedback and, obviously us being able to hop on a call like this and break down his mechanics is super important, which is what you're kind of saying. So like building off of that a little bit and going more so into Kyle's results so far. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Kyle's dad actually catches a lot of his bullpens. And one of our goals is to have Brian really not be able to catch him anymore because he's throwing so hard. So, like, going off of that, like, Brian, how has it made you feel to see Kyle make these jumps?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I went from catching without a mask and now I use a mask. It's no, it's fun, and it's great to see. It's great to see that. And then, like, I think also, kudos to Eric. Like, one of the things that we kind of saw, like, suggestion you made was kind of working a little bit on the two seam, and like, kind of seeing a little bit of, like, not just velocity, but like kind of, seeing some break on that, which is really good. So we haven't implemented that in the game yet, but it's still, like, kind of building on that. It's relatively new. So, but I'm looking forward to, it's not just velocity. It's kind of like some of those other tips. And we see the curveball, just due to the velocity, it's breaking. It's harder. It's looking a little bit more like the fastball, and it's breaking later, which is, some of the good things. So it's not just velocity, but it's kind of implementing and being a pitcher rather than just a thrower.
100%. And that's something that gets lost in translation. Obviously there's a million videos out there. There's, maybe other coaches that offer this style of training, but a lot of parents might be skeptical of remote training and, understandably so. It might be something newer, but like, what would you say to any parent who is skeptical about having their son join a remote pitching academy?
So not 100% sure on the full thing, but like one of the things that I loved is that, like, it's the complete package. Like, it is what you've offered is it's not just the pitch, not just throwing, but it's the lifting, it's the diet, it's the explosiveness. It's the one-on-one Slack, and then it's also the one-on-one video calls that it's been there. So it's kind of like it's a little bit of everything. Like, Kyle's put on a good amount of weight, like in like muscle, over the time. So it's, he's become more explosive in just 3 months. He's throwing harder. Like, we've also seen some of the translations on the offensive side where he's kind of like, there's more pop in the swing. So there's a lot of good things. And like, I love the fact of the schedule, for the fact of, as a dad, like, I'm not the dad of, like, go do whatever, go do whatever. It's like, he knows what he needs to do. I can give him little reminders, but there's been times, kudos to him, like, I didn't do my med ball throws, so he's out in with like lights on, like throwing up against the wall, like out, when it's 10 o'clock at night, because it's on the schedule, and he knows that if he wants to get to where he wants to go, he has to go out and do that. So the schedule is a huge part of it. It gives it structure. It gives him something to work towards, because it's all laid out, and it's not like, "Yeah, I saw this YouTube video, I saw that, I saw, like, my high school coach, my travel coach gave us all these different things to work on." It gives it, like, structure. Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, I'm off this day, I'm doing, like, those are all the cool things.
Yeah, 100%. No, I appreciate you saying that. And then just like swinging back to you, Kyle, a little bit. Obviously, you've been able to work really hard and, kind of see the fruits of your labor paying off. So, like, what kind of player would you say that this program is for? Like, who would you recommend this to?
I think I would say to someone who is like thinking about this, I would say it's like a perfect program if you're serious about trying to gain velocity. Like if you're kind of on the fence, like I mean like if you're like I would like to throw harder, but I mean like I don't want to have to like constantly be like eating a bunch or constantly like lifting heavy or like all that stuff like that. Um it's like it's a lot of work, but it's not necessarily unreasonable. You just have to like obviously just like trust it and just like know that like obviously like you like Coach Eric like is gonna give you everything you need. Um, like you just have to do it. And I would say if you're a player who like is gonna go all in, I think it's like a perfect program for you. Um, but like if not, I mean like it is a lot of work, but I mean like it takes a lot of work to throw hard. Like it's not just gonna magically happen. So but I think like if you are a player like I am and like I was just like wanting to get to the next level to play in college or to like play at the like next highest level you can. Um I think it's like a perfect program because like you give us everything we need and all we have to do is just do it. So and then you're obviously there to hype us up when we do that. So
Always, bro, and kick you in the butt when you need it.
exactly, yeah.
100%, man. 100%. I was going to ask you who this program is not for, but you kind of answered it all with that one question. So that's pretty awesome. Obviously, you're, throwing 78 now. We're going to be throwing a little bit harder, but like given the progress, Kyle, that you've seen over these last 3 months, where do you see yourself like say a year from now velocity wise, like seeing what you've been able to do in these 3 months, where do you see yourself maybe like a year from now in terms of velocity and just how you are overall as a pitcher really?
Yeah, I think I could obviously like keep on improving. There's still a bunch more to work on. Um But like in like a year, I'll be like fall of my senior year. Hopefully around like mid 80s like would be like perfect if I could get up to there. Obviously the goal was to pitch in college at the highest level that I could go. Um and like obviously just probably a year from now, still obviously grinding. And then I would hope for high school and like to travel in the fall, just be like an absolute like dog on the mound, just going out there, just like mowing guys down. I mean, like everyone has like that pitcher that like you kind of talked about like oh like once you see him out there like oh my gosh like he throws hard and like I would love to be that guy is like throwing hard but also like hitting spots great off speed and like just like striking guys out so that's where I would love to be.
Yeah, man. I think that's a perfect picture of the pitcher you want to become. Because yeah, there is that guy that everybody knows. It's like, yo, like we're facing that guy today. Like he throws cheese, and like you wanting to be that guy and kind of seeing yourself become that is pretty awesome. For me to hear, and I'm sure for your dad to hear as well. So that's pretty cool. I want to wrap this up with anything like any last remarks that you guys have, anything you want to say to the people of YouTube. Kyle, if there's a girl you want to, shout out.
No.
No, I'm just messing.
Yeah, like I think if you're on the fence about going into the program or not, I think you'd pretty much just have to like ask yourself kind of like are you going to do the stuff? Like I think like each individual thing isn't necessarily that hard to do, but it does add up and it's really just about being consistent with it. And if you like are serious about trying to gain velocity, are like if you're in a spot where you're not throwing as hard as you need to be to pitch in college, which is where I was, then you have to do something. And I think this would be the perfect thing to do because like the pitcher who I was like I still kind of am like a little like if you're underweight, you're not throwing as like as hard as you need to. Um, then like like you aren't explosive. You have to work on all those things, and it's much better just to go to one person. So you aren't hearing like a million different things. You aren't hearing like do this, do that. You just get it all at once. It's tailored like perfectly for you, And I think that would be the best option if you're serious about doing that.
100%. 100%. Brian, you got any last remarks?
I mean, the only other thing I'd throw in there that which we didn't talk about was arm care. I think there's a good portion of that. So like it helps keep the arm healthy. Cal did, like there's a lot of that in the program. Kyle does it. Cal's doing it, like so he's doing bands, stuff like that, which is great, kind of keep him healthy. And you know, it's something he's struggled with in the past. So, you know, he's been feeling super healthy, which is awesome. So like, you know, being able to progress is being healthy is a part of that, right? You can't gain velocity if you're you know if your arm hurts. So but yeah, we've been super happy with the program and want to say thanks for all the support and the program, and looking happy with the progress we've made so far and looking forward to keep making some great gains. So thanks coach, and kudos to you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.